What up, what up? It's your boy Mike Malarkey, aka King Moses, the anointed one, live from on the porch. It's been a minute since I made a video. You know what I mean? Made a couple videos past couple weeks or a month or something like that. So it's been a while, but I really wanted to get into this next topic. You feel what I'm saying? That I had to touch on, man. And it's basically trying to break down the shit about this simping and this tricking that's going on now, whatever, and just give you a breakdown on like why is it seems like it's more prevalent now than it ever was before, in my opinion. And this is my opinion. I ain't no expert. Like I said, I mean, I've been out there in the streets, I see what's going on, but just giving you my opinion from what I see on the porch. You feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't out there no more. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just looking and seeing how like it matches up to when I was out there and what I used to see, and how it's increased. So I suggest that if you don't feel like being bothered with a lot of this shit and it's a headache to deal with, man, just get your ass on the porch, man. Figure out some type of way to get up on this porch, man, because it's a stress-free life. Sometimes I get a little irritated looking at a lot of this dumb shit that's going on out here in the streets. But at the end of the day, I can just sit back and just relax. You feel what I'm saying? Happily married or whatever, chilling, fortunate and lucky I don't have to deal with all that bullshit. But I wanted to get into the breakdown on, from my opinion, like why it seems like now it's more prevalent for a lot of this simping and this tricking and all this shit. So my main focus on this video is to talk about the ground zero location of where all this shit just started exploding. In my opinion, it was the city of Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia is the ground zero of the simping and this tricking and empowering of these gypsy Jezebel bed wenches, these tramps, these hussies, whatever you want to call them. I love Atlanta. I got family in Atlanta, you know what I mean? I think Atlanta's been, they call it the Black Mecca. There's a lot of good shit that you can say about the city of Atlanta that, it's not perfect, but like, a lot of black people moving down there, been moving down there for the past years. You know what I mean? It's a lovely city area. It seems like a lot of opportunities for black people down there. Having said all that, it's been a explosion of tricking and simping that has transpired in Atlanta. Now, you can debate it may not be Atlanta people because, like I said, you have a renaissance of people just moving down there, it's cheaper cost of living, whatever the case may be, and they moving from different areas, from New York, LA, DC, whatever. Just want to go down to Atlanta because they feel more opportunity down there for whatever it is that they're trying to do, which I'll get into in a second. But I can't necessarily say that it's the people from Atlanta that are doing it, but I do have some examples of people from Atlanta that have condoned or promoted this type of tricking and simping behavior and made it popular for other people to accept it and follow suit. So Atlanta, if you want to go back and look at, like, let's go back to the entertainment industry, music wise. Atlanta has kind of taken over after, like, say New York was like on top or whatever as far as like the rap game. I ain't talking about Outkast, in their heyday type shit. I'm talking about, after like Jay-Z kind of retired and Rockefeller kind of broke up or whatever. And, the South kind of took over, but Atlanta was the main ones that were leading the charge. So you had a lot of popular rappers that was coming out, like T.I., Young Jeezy, Young Jock, Scrappy, Lil Jon, all them motherfuckers and shit or whatever. And I like the music or whatever, you feel what I'm saying? So you want to go different genres as far as like trap, which is now whatever, I don't know, trap, the snap your fingers movement shit, the crunk shit or whatever. Like ATL been running it for a minute, so they influenced the culture with the type of music that was going out. So while New York was going through their whole like trying to figure out how to get back popping or whatever, they was stealing a lot of the South shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's just what it was. People were just kind of running with it. So it was just like, if it coming out of Atlanta and it's popular, then that was kind of the norm. To me, it seemed like after Pimp C died, who's from Houston, it's the South, but Atlanta was popular, whatever, but you still had like a lot of prevalent OG rappers like Pimp C, 8 Ball, MJG. You know what I mean? A lot of Houston rappers was like, really like on that pimp shit or whatever. Where it's like, yeah, it was cool to ride in certain type of cars that you would envision like a pimp or player riding or whatever. Certain actions and behaviors that would seem like, that would match up to, if you was out there on the streets, this is how you would move. And you would hear that in the rap songs or whatever, you feel what I'm saying? Which obviously rap is highly influential. So you would have that type of shit, and Pimp C was like, let's say number one on that list is like the pimp shit. He died in 2007, and then it just seems like after that, like it just tailed off with like a lot of the rappers that really was talking that pimp shit or whatever. Like you got your Big Crits, I fuck with Big Crit, you know what I mean? But it just seemed like a lot of that music just kind of went away and just started going towards more of this tricking shit and making it popular and making it seem like it was the norm. Now, I'm speaking from my perspective, right? I know that strip clubs have been very popular for a while or whatever, but it just seems like, I can't speak from Atlanta because I haven't been down to Atlanta like that or whatever during the early days, but just from my opinion, I want to say like 2008, something like that or whatever. Like it just seemed like it just got really mainstream, where it was like Atlanta was the place to be, and like the strip, like everything that was popping as far as music wise was generated because of the strip club. So you had like, even though T-Pain's not from Atlanta, but like you had a lot of rappers talking about spending money in the strip clubs or whatever that were based out of Atlanta, giving away money, buying drinks, blowing bags, taking care of the women. So like you got T.I. making songs like you can have whatever you like. T-Pain, I'ma buy you a drink. Lil Scrappy, I got money in the bank. Shorty, what you drank? This is all tricking behavior, and this is not something that, like, in my opinion, I necessarily agree with, and nor do I condone or participate in any of that type of rigmarole. And it just seemed like it just started. They put like a little something in there, and then it just took off and ran. So the more the money that was getting popular down there, and more people was getting money down there, it just seemed like they just be quick to just, that was the popular thing to do, go spend it in the strip club. Now I got family in Atlanta. I've been down to Atlanta plenty of times. I personally, I don't really get into the strip clubs. I don't see the purpose of going in there and throwing money at a bitch or whatever that, even if I spend $300 or whatever, I might be able to fuck. Like, I'm not paying for no pussy, or never was paying for no pussy like that, period. I can get a bitch for free or whatever, you feel what I'm saying? Like, even when it started getting to the norm of like being able to go into a strip club and it was like cool and acceptable, it was like whatever, like I would go just to be like, all right, I'm chilling with my folks or whatever, we having a good time, getting a drink or whatever. But I just felt uncomfortable being like in places where like you pressuring me to throw some money, and if I ain't giving you no money, I'm a broke nigga and all this shit. That just wasn't my environment, right? And then from my experience, it just seemed like, up here, especially in DC, I mean, you had your strip clubs, like it was different up here, where we had like, you had your Fuegos, Baz and Cruz, Sensationals. Like, you can go up there, you can just go up there and chill. You can bring your own liquor, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, whatever, and have a good time. And then if you was really into that shit or whatever, you could trick off or whatever and whatever. I just like to go because I'm like, all right, it's a nice little spot. I can go chill, listen to some music, watch the bitches from afar, not have to be worried about nobody trying to get some money out of me or whatever. And I can just get my drink on. You feel what I'm saying? Bring my own liquor in. Like, you can't beat that. You feel what I'm saying? So it was like, that wasn't that big of a deal to me. But it just seemed like, you know, if you was there, just to be like, all right, I'm a trick nigga. I like to just spend some money on some pussy, whatever. That's where you were to go. But it wasn't like popularized, like, oh, I'm going to the strip club to go trick off and go to the private room. And I'm not saying that it wasn't, because you had songs like that before, but it wasn't like the mainstream thing. And it was like, if it was exclusive to like super, I didn't even say super rich niggas, but it was like the regular person wasn't like, that wasn't the thing. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't like pushed on us like, yeah, you gotta go to the strip club. You know what I mean? Maybe from some special occasion, if you're going for a bachelor party, some shit like that. Maybe, you know, because there's been plenty of times where I've been with my boys or whatever, and they found a stripper and then they had a little house party or whatever. But it wasn't like, yeah, we going to the strip club this Friday, next Friday, whatever, and throwing all this money and doing all this shit. That wasn't the norm or whatever. And it definitely wasn't the norm, from my opinion, that broads was like regular broads. I'm talking about like broads that claimed to be heterosexual females was going to the strip club and just be like, oh, we're going to the strip club and we about to just whoop-de-whoop. Like, that was not the norm. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you was like, you know, lesbian, you know what I mean, it would make sense because you like women. And it was like, all right, you know, you probably got a girl that is a stripper and you with her and you just going there to support her. I see it all the time. But it wasn't like broads was like, yeah, just going over there, whatever. But it just seemed like when the music started coming out of Atlanta around that time period or whatever, like 2008 and after, it popularized the strip club. So now you have, and I don't know, maybe it was the women word of mouth that they was getting all this money and the niggas were like spending all this money on girls just to strip. And it was just like, oh, well, I can make that much money not having to fuck, quote unquote, or not fuck like that on a regular basis. So if I'm going to fuck, I'm going to be able to make all this money. And it inspired a lot of these little gypsy bitches to be out here going down to Atlanta or all these other strip clubs down south or whatever and being strippers. So now you got an explosion because these simp niggas is like quick to throw their money away to these bitches. They see it like a fucking gold mine. So they like, oh, well, let me go down to Atlanta. This is where it's at. This is where the money's at. Niggas just giving away money. Easy. And I was doing the same dumb shit I was doing up in DC, whatever. And, you know, fucking these niggas, they wasn't really giving me no money, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, as it should be. But now they going down south or whatever. I mean, I don't blame them. I blame the niggas. But like I said, this is why I say Atlanta is the ground zero of this simping and this tricking epidemic. They started this shit and it's just exploded. And again, I'm not saying that simping and trick, like, this has been happening for eons, but this was not as bad as it used to be. You feel what I'm saying? And it just seemed like also too, like with as far as like the pimping shit or whatever, like there was a law that was passed in 2000. It was the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. They passed it in 2000, right? So like you see like all the old movies or like the documentaries where they talked about pimps or whatever, like your Don Magic ones and all this shit or whatever. And you know, even when like they made songs about pimping, they would have the pimps in the video or like on the songs with them or whatever. And it just seemed like once that act came out in 2000, which was supposed to be like protecting like people getting kidnapped and shit like that, whatever, right? But the man used it as a backdoor way to try to capture, like get up all these pimps out of the game because they knew the niggas was making too much money or whatever. So now you seen like a lot of these pimp niggas that was getting human trafficking charges or whatever, getting 20 fucking years or whatever for pimping. And that type of shit just shifted a lot of the mainstream glamorization of being a pimp, because it was like, oh, niggas is really getting like crazy numbers for this shit or whatever. And it just kind of like died down to an extent. It wasn't as big as it was before. And then you had the opportunity for a lot of these simp niggas to be giving money away or whatever. So like the traditional broad that was like, you know what I mean, working on the street or whatever, she might have made some money, whatever, but you making more money in the strip club now. You feel what I'm saying? And you ain't gotta check in with a, you know what I mean, with a nigga, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. You could just be a renegade and just be like, oh, I decide I wanna go, you know what I mean, strip. I can make 15, 20,000 or whatever the fuck they make in the strip club. And I have to fuck as many niggas. And then they got the power now where they more independent, and this is like, these niggas gave away the power, man. Y'all created a monster, man. Y'all created some shit that, you know, is fucked up. And like I said, Atlanta was the epicenter of it. But, you know, I would say Miami's a close second, because you got a lot of the, you know, they was heavy in the strip clubs down there too, whatever, you know, way back in the day. But, you know, if obviously Miami ain't that far away from Atlanta, whatever, so you got, you know, a lot of that shit going on or whatever. And then obviously New York, they bandwagon on anything that's popular or whatever. So a lot of them bras or whatever try to emulate what's going on in Atlanta or whatever. And, you know, like I said, New York follows the trend. So you got Fabulous talking about what's the song he had? Throw it in a bag or whatever. You know what I mean? Trying to sound like an ATL rapper, nigga. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't no New York shit or whatever. And New York niggas was tricking too and all this shit. So, like I said, this ain't new, but it seemed like it's just more prevalent with the ATL niggas. And I got a couple examples of some niggas that I fuck with or whatever on the music tip or whatever, but they be on that bullshit. So one example was T.I., obviously. He was the one main nigga that was talking about this popping bottles and you can have whatever you like and all this shit and all this weirdo ass shit or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Even though he was talking that gangster shit or whatever and all that, but this nigga seemed like he just sweet on the bitches. You know what I mean? Ruthless ass killer, trapper ass nigga, but you soft on the bitches. You feel what I'm saying? Then you got Future. Fuck with Future, whatever. You know what I mean? But he just be talking some wild shit too, whatever. Like, yeah, he be talking about, you know what I mean, fucking bitches, and he don't go out on dates, but then he be talking all this, spending money on bitches and taking them shopping and all this wild shit. And the crazy thing is, like, this becomes the expectation of the regular bitch. The fucking, now these gypsy bitches out there that might had ran into this nigga because he a groupie, they was groupies or whatever, and instead of him on some old, yeah, doing what he's supposed to, just find them, fuck them, and flee, he up there flying bitches out. He up there taking them shopping, getting their bodies done, for no fucking apparent reason. So now she like, oh, well, if Future can do it, why can't the rest of these niggas do it? And if you ain't being like Future, whatever, then you a broke nigga, da-da-da. It's fucking ridiculous. So now you got niggas that regular niggas like myself or whatever, you know what I mean? Might be just regular Joe Smo, like go out, you know what I mean, do your thing or whatever, whoop-de-whoop. You got these niggas out here fronting and trying to keep up with the expectations of a gypsy bitch. They'd be like, oh, well, if I need to get with her, I gotta fly her out. The fuck is wrong with you? But these niggas is popularizing it, and then now niggas is running with it. The Migos, some more niggas. They were specifically Offset and Quavo. Offset wifed up a stripper, whatever. I don't give a fuck what you say, whatever. Made this bitch, she's popular now, whatever, but she was a stripper. You feel what I'm saying? You wifing them up. These niggas just wifing up strippers, porn stars, fucking having babies by them, kissing them in the mouth. All wild shit, man. You know what I mean? Quavo, goddamn, gave the money up to the damn rapper bitch Saudi or whatever the fuck her name is or whatever, buying her Bentleys and all this shit. And then now when the bitch try to, you know what I mean, finesse you, whatever, and all that shit, then you want to be taking the shit back or whatever like a sucker. You shouldn't have been doing this shit in the first place. You shouldn't have been wifing abroad in the first place. But, you know, niggas want to be soft on these bitches, but be so gangster on the motherfucking records and all this shit. They going whoop-de-whoop, shoot a nigga up and selling these bricks and getting these packs off or whatever. But y'all up there shopping at Birkins and all this shit or whatever. Lil Baby, another one, spending money on a bitch. You acting like a 50-year-old sugar daddy. Why are you spending money on pussy and making bitches sign the NDAs? saying, don't tell nobody I gave you this money. You supposed to keep that on the low. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is weird. Weird as fuck. And I'm like, bro, why are you doing this? Like, y'all just doing this unnecessarily. And it had to be taught behavior. Like, oh, well, this is what the niggas is doing. That's how you supposed to do it. All this shit's happening in Atlanta. Coming out of Atlanta. Shit crazy, man. You know what I mean? And then now, a lot of these niggas they're so influenced by these gypsy bitches that they think simping is the new pimping. They think that they actually have power because, oh, I got money. I bought this bitch. In hindsight, if you think about it, yes, you do have a power over a bitch by buying her something or whatever. Like, it's like property. You feel what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I bought this for you, whatever. Now you got to do this for me. Like, it's been like that for eons, where niggas be like, oh, if I take you out on a date, we fucking. That's why I tell niggas, don't go on dates like that or whatever if you're not really like trying to build something with the broad or whatever. You're just trying to get some pussy, whatever. Fucking pussy is not of high value, where it's higher value than fucking dick. Like, the bitch should, if the bitch is feeling you, whatever, and she wanna fuck, she should just fuck. You shouldn't have to convince her to be like, oh yeah, you should fuck with me because I'm taking you to a fucking nice restaurant. Oh yeah, well, I like you, whatever, but you can't get this pussy if you ain't giving me no money or giving me no food, showing me a good time. It don't work like that. But nowadays it does, because niggas is, oh yeah, well, you know, if you want to see me, you gotta fly me out. Why you bringing sand to the beach? What's wrong with you niggas, man? What's wrong with you niggas? This don't make any sense. So now niggas is like, well, you gotta be a broke nigga. You must be broke if you ain't flying the bitch out. No, you're just a smart young man that realizes, like, if I'm going to another city like Miami, why the fuck would I fly a bitch out from somewhere else when I can just meet a bitch from Miami? Or if I really wanted to see this bitch or whatever that was in another city, I could just spend the money and fly to her. Keep it moving. And maybe, yeah, I'll knock her off or whatever for free, as it should be, and then meet some other bras while I'm out in that city. But that ain't being talked about in these records. They talk about flying bitches out, private jets, G5. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. So yeah, nowadays niggas in their mind really think that simping is the new pimping. Like, the more money they spent, the more popular they are. These Jermaine Dupri ass niggas that do anything for a fucking woman, doing all this money, spending all this fucking money, whatever, ain't got nobody soon. And Janet got him with the gypsy move, fucking tattooing her name on her and all. She got her with the fucking move. You should have known that shit, old ass gypsy. She been doing that shit since she was with the DeBarges and Bobby Brown or whatever, getting over. You niggas is falling for it. It's crazy, man. And do the research if you don't know about Demeter Joe. She the biggest fucking gypsy of all, one of the OG gypsy bitches. And now you got these bitches that's on IG and OnlyFans and TikTok and the strip club bitches is influencers now, whatever. That's how they making their money, influencers. So now they the new pimps. They pimping these niggas. And these niggas is acting like hoes. So they can go on the internet, twerk, shake their ass or whatever, and say, hey, look at my OnlyFans for $9.99 or whatever, and give tips or whatever, and niggas is doing it. In hopes to be like, oh yeah, well, I got a private DM from this OnlyFans chick, and yeah, she feeling me. Now I could spend some more money on her to fly her out to my house or whatever the fuck. And these be the same regular ass bras that be like in the city, whatever. You meet them at the club or whatever, and if you was like a real one, you could smash them easy. But niggas is spending money on these bras because they see them on fucking IG twerking and TikTok making videos and shit. You know what I mean? And it was one more point that I wanted to make too about Atlanta specifically as far as the strip club. Like, I read this article, whatever, in the New York Times, and they was talking about how Atlanta was so important as far as like with the strip clubs because of fucking it was like a form of payola. Like, they were the promoters. So like, obviously, if a broad was like strip, like, you know, really making a whole bunch of money to your song or whatever, and that's when it was popping. So like, you had like a lot of them niggas that was like making a lot of noise with the #1 hits, like the nigga that made a song Cashing Out and Racks on Racks and shit like that. These were songs that was popping out of the ATL strip clubs, which I get it or whatever, but it just seems like now it's just exploded now where you didn't gave these bitches the power. Like, let the motherfucking bitches make it popular, whatever, and all that. But you ain't got to pay these bras to fucking push the shit. Like, y'all niggas ain't got no game at all, whatever, that you can't influence the world to fucking make a song pop or whatever, or make the song be popular just because you paying bitches in the club to shake their ass to it. That's why I'm on the porch, man, because this shit just don't make no damn sense, man. But that's just what their excuse was, that, oh, we're in the strip because we're doing business or whatever. And that might be true, whatever, but like, how long did it last? Because a lot of them motherfuckers that was like doing them one hit running songs, like, they don't have no long careers like that. Like, T.I. would have been popping without like making the song, you know, go crazy in the club, or Future too, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I mean, whatever, man. It's just wild, man. But like, it's just disgusting, man. And niggas ain't really not even speaking on it. Niggas not realizing this shit. Not even like on some old, yeah, man, this shit is for real, for real. Like, the situation was going on, and this is the breakdown. This is the reason why this shit is happening. It's just like, oh, well, they just going with the flow. But if you sit back and really think about what I'm saying, you know this shit matches up, and you know this shit is fucking true. Shit is fucking true, and it's like, damn near too late to change this shit or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Unless niggas like really put a stop and put their foot down and be like, man, we not doing this shit no more. We not paying attention to these gypsy bras or whatever. I don't give a fuck how many followers you have on IG, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you not getting no extra attention or money out of me for some shit that you supposed to be doing, or shit that you choose to do, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if the shit is good, if the music is good or the experience is good, I shouldn't have to give you no extra money to say, yeah, this shit is good. If you're going to dance to a song or whatever, you're going to dance to it because you like the song, not because it's going to make you popular on fucking IG or TikTok. If I'm fucking with you, whatever, like, you should fuck with me just because you fuck with me because I'm a real nigga, you like me, whatever, I look good, whatever the case may be, not because, oh, this nigga got money. This nigga works at a good job and he got potential to give me some money, and oh, I can't wait for this nigga to get me pregnant so I can lock him in and I can be a baby mother so I can get child support off of this nigga for 18 years and all this shit. This is what they promoting now, man. This is what they pushing, and niggas is falling for it. Niggas is simping and falling for this shit, man. And it's crazy. They falling for the trick bag, man. I just wish that a lot of these niggas, like, before, like, you know, when I was younger, like, niggas did their research. We had movies that was like, yeah, I wasn't born in the 70s and 80s or whatever. Well, I was in 84 or whatever. I wasn't born in the 70s, so, you know what I mean? When I hear songs about, like, yo, this song was sampled by the Mac or whatever, and I'm like, oh, what's the Mac or whatever? And I do my research and see the movie or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it might not make me want to be a pimp, because obviously nowadays you should not want to be a pimp, because you're gonna get 20 plus years. The bitches are snitching. I mean, they always been snitching or whatever, you feel what I'm saying? But now it's more of a benefit for the nigga not to fuck with the shit, because if a broad snitch on you now, instead of you getting 5-7 years or whatever, you gonna get 15-20 off the break, just because the bitch don't want to keep her fucking mouth shut, instead of her taking the charge or whatever, and, you know what I mean, getting less than a year or some shit like that or whatever. The bitch don't want to do that, so she'll throw you under the bus to save her ass. And then nowadays, now it's no need for it, because these bitches can do this shit on her phone or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And it's so, the simps is outweighing the niggas that's trying to get the money, whatever. The importers are being outweighed by the exporters. So the niggas that are dishing out the money are more prevalent now than the niggas that are supposed to be getting the money. So it's just wild, man. But that's just what it is, man. You know, like, I just wanted to let it be known, like, that's what it is. So you talk about all these niggas that get caught up or whatever with this sugar daddy shit, this simping and this tricking. More likely than not, they from Atlanta, or they've been influenced heavily by Atlanta. You feel what I'm saying? Drake too. I fuck with Drake or whatever, but he been on his super simp shit or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? And like I said, now it's getting to a point where these high level niggas have fucked the game up so much and influenced like this to be normal behavior. Like this whole thing about flying bitches out. Like I told you before in one of the videos, like niggas was like, I was on Facebook in this Facebook group, this battle rap group. One of the battle rap niggas did that shit or whatever, and niggas was like really like, oh, it's nothing. It's only $300 to fly a bitch out. It's not about the money. I don't give a fuck if the flight was $20. You can buy a bitch a drink at the bar for $15, $20 or whatever. Was the principle, niggas? The principle. But niggas ain't got no morals, and now it's the reason why it's so bad now is because you got these gypsy bitches that's twerking online. They ain't taking care of their kids. They out for theyself. They out for theyself. They making these babies. Niggas ain't around. They ain't raise them, or they can't be around or whatever. And then the niggas that are around for the most part are trick ass simp niggas. Third generation simps and tricks and johns. They're trick babies. So now if you got a trick baby that's raising a fucking a boy, now what you think he gonna teach him? You think he gonna teach him, hey man, you shouldn't be out here simping and doing all shit that I no, they're gonna teach him the shit that worked for them. So if lying about, oh yeah, I work here, you know, it used to really kill me when I used to be out and about or whatever. I got a 9 to 5, regular 9 to 5, right? We got casual Fridays. I never been one of them niggas who gonna be super suited up and booted up or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? You know, I wear my shit to work or whatever. Even if I had a corporate job where I had to wear a suit and tie or whatever. All right, whatever. That's what it is. I want to be comfortable in my surroundings. So I'm not about to be like, I'm not wearing a suit to go to a happy hour or a club. So even if it was a situation where unless I'm on my break or I'm going for a meeting or something like that, that's different. But if I'm going out to the club and I'm on a hunt, I'm not about to be wearing no goddamn suit. And even if I wore a suit to work, I'm going home to change, to get into something more comfortable, whatever. But especially in DC, where these niggas specifically, who I hate, that be trying to keep up with the Joneses and keep up with these gypsy bitches that got their own money, mind you, got their own money. A lot of educational gypsies out here that got money and went to Howard and Bowie and got degrees and all shit, government jobs and whatever. And they come from families that have money, so they ain't got to spend much money, but they looking for niggas to spend their fucking money. These niggas is trying to keep up. So if a broad out there with a fucking dress on or whatever, they ain't buying no tables. They might be able to get to a table because the fucking promoter niggas gonna put them up in there, whatever, hook them up, or they gonna find a nigga with a table and get up with them. And these niggas is doing all that to impress these bitches or whatever. Like, I mean, I get if you want to get a table and all that shit or whatever, that's cool, whatever. But it just seemed like these niggas be doing too much. You know for a fact, especially on Friday, if you work a regular 9 to 5s, casual Friday, so you ain't got to be doing all that. These niggas be going at happy hours, like at the park, with fucking suits and tuxedos on. Nigga, you didn't wear that to work. You did not wear the work. So you probably wore some regular shit, and then you go up there to these fucking happy hours and clubs with these fake ass business cards and shit, talking about, yeah, I've worked the fucking associate liaison consultant at the White House. Hey, bitch, hear that? They gonna be like, oh, this nigga got money. Buy me a drink. Sure. If all I gotta do is buy a bitch a drink or whatever, that'll get me in. That ain't nothing. Oh, let's go to eat afterwards. Let's go to Root Chris afterwards. Let's go to goddamn whatever the fuck, somewhere on U Street to eat. Now you out there loafing and cupcaking, spending time with the bitch or whatever. You didn't got the bitch drunk, goddamn fed the bitch, and then even the bitch that, you know what I mean, even if you do fuck, it was not worth it. You just spent all that time when you could have met the bitch, a bitch that was fucking for free, that would have been ready to go off smack. Then you save yourself some money on liquor, food, and time wasted. You up there 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, out and about in this bitch, out after the club or whatever, when you could have fucking met a bitch in the club, he left out of that bitch at 3, smacked, went the fuck home and went to bed. You out 6 in the morning spending all this money in restaurants and shit or whatever, passing up all these bitches for this one bitch that you want to fuck. And then even if the bitch don't fuck, you know what's going to happen after she done with you? She gonna be like, I'm tired, I'm going back to sleep or whatever, and you going home looking stupid as shit. And either she gonna be like, yeah, I got the nigga finessed him, I'm going home, or she going to hook up with the other nigga that she already got online and already been nailing it to the fucking cross. Simple. You fucking it up. Like I said, but I guess that's the norm in Atlanta. That's what make it popularized, whatever. But these niggas now, whatever, specifically in this area, they be doing this shit. So I just don't understand why y'all niggas be doing the most for these bitches, whatever, man. And it needs to stop. But I'm just troubled there's not too many more real niggas out here that's on that real nigga shit. Whether you was a pimp on that pimp shit, you just on some macking shit, some player shit, you feel what I'm saying? Or you was a simp. I mean, niggas, every nigga done simped or tricked off at one point or whatever, but it's all about your lessons learned. If you continue to do that behavior, some niggas learn their lessons quicker than others. Some niggas don't learn their lesson. They think that that's the thing that they need to do, whatever, because of lack of self-confidence in their self. And there ain't no people behind them be like, man, you ain't got to do this, man. Put your foot down and you establish the rules. It's going to be this or that. And if it ain't that, bye-bye. Because I will find another bitch that will be with that. And then if you don't find a bitch or whatever, that night, walk away. Live to see another night. Too many bitches out here to be not doing that shit. So, that's all I got to say, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, you know, niggas need to smarten up, man. Tighten the fuck up, man. And really get this shit together and really start listening to what I'm saying or whatever, and just start looking at this shit, man. Like, look at all these songs that's coming out now that be talking about buying bitches shit, giving money away and all this shit, man. And every fad eventually fades away, man. So hopefully this fad of this tricking shit and wifing strippers up and wiping influencers up and wifing these fucking Amber Rose head ass slut walking bitches up and niggas up there on their fucking James Harden simp shit, their Wiz Khalifa simp shit, the Kanye West simp shit. Like, niggas need to stop that shit, man. Stop it. Don't be like, if listen, man, don't be like these niggas, man. Don't be like these niggas. And if that's leave it to them niggas. And stop fucking with these bitches, because if you ice these bitches out and you stop ignoring them and stop paying these bitches attention, eventually you're gonna feel some type of way. They're gonna feel some type of way, and they're gonna try to change and adjust what they feel is gonna attract the regular niggas, because they know they can't get these rich ass entertaining niggas like that, man. It might get them for the moment, but they ain't about to be doing all that shit, man. That's why a lot of these bitches is doing a lot of unnecessary dumb shit that niggas ain't asking for, man. Like, why are, like, niggas is not, listen, man, I like big asses like the rest of us, but it's like, I thought that shit was natural. Like, naturally black women specifically had big asses with them. Why are you going down to get surgeries to get a bigger ass? Like, nobody's asking for that. Like, even with the strippers, again, a lot of these bitches do it because, you know, they want to be strippers and want big ass, they can't compete. But a lot of these regular bitches are just doing this shit, just like, oh yeah, well, these niggas love these strippers, so for me to get a nigga, I need to go get a Brazilian butt lift or ass in there. Like, y'all, I hope you bitches that do this shit, y'all get sick, silicone infections, and die. Yes, I said it. Because you bitches are stupid, and niggas is not asking for this shit. Niggas is not making songs like, oh, I wish a bitch, I can't wait to find a bitch so I can give her a Brazilian butt lift. Like, man, no. The bitches is asking for it, and niggas is so weak, they giving into this shit, and they doing it. But, bro, wish y'all niggas to stop paying attention to these bitches, man, like that, man. Stop paying attention to these bitches. And eventually, when they stop getting these attention, the attention, they gonna fucking wise up. I'm gonna give you one example of a bitch that did it. K. Michelle. She was the one that used to do all that shit or whatever. Now she ain't popping no more or whatever. She took all that shit out. She's sad and lonely, look crazy as shit. Wendy Williams, another one, did all the motherfucking surgeries and shit. Look fucking dried up, sad and lonely. Yeah, niggas probably still fuck or whatever, because niggas won't do whatever, but You see, maybe if y'all start doing this to these other bitches or whatever, then you start getting your power back. That's all I got to say, man. I'm out.